Warning, the following scenes contain me acting like an idiot and embarrassing myself for your entertainment. Hello everyone. Today I present to you my thoughts on this book, Resilient. Now, Resilient is a book made by Rick Hansen, who states on page 227 of his book that he chose to get his degree in psychology, or PhD in psychology. Now, this book has helped me understand many things about how we function on a daily basis, and how we can control multiple factors of that functionality, such as how we stay in the green zone, which is a mental state of happiness and calm, and how we can avoid the red zone, which is a mental state of stress and negativity. Basically how we feel on a regular basis at work or school. Now, I'll teach you some methods that I'll be trying to integrate in my life from this book, so that you can stay in the green zone when necessary. Now, the first method I will demonstrate is single and double darts. Now, what I'll show here is two example videos of me getting my feet stepped on. One is of me not offering very family-friendly content, and the other is me offering a much kinder response. Now, which one do you think is going to be the correct response? Let's find out.
Warning, the following scenes were staged. Do not take these out of context or else I will nibble your arms off.
Son of a bitch!
Sorry. The content you were trying to view had severe, large amounts of profanity, and as such we had to remove it. Here, have a short commercial break of looking at two cute dogs trying to have a nap.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to step on your foot.
Oh, it's alright. I thought it was an accident. If you guessed option number 2, you're already on your way there. Now, you just need to implement it into your life. An easy step to remember this is to think that if someone does something that physically harms you, occasionally think of it as an accident from time to time. But if someone says something mean to you, just don't argue back, don't continue the chain. This may not even matter later on. It'd just be a pointless conflict that nobody wants to get into. Now, this is actually the first dart. Now, the second dart would be something that you did to argue back or fight back. This would just get you and that person involved in even more conflict with that second dart. And nobody wants to do that, now do we? Well, now that we've explained first and second darts, let's move on to the next method. Alright, now that we've explained the first green zone method, let's move on to the first big main idea of this book, which was also in the title itself, to be resilient. Now, we aren't talking about physical resilience here, but the methods that I've been taught from this book, which I am now teaching some of to you, is that these methods are helpful to grow a strong mental core of calm and positivity, so that you don't have to stay stressed about constantly everything. Well, nearly everything constantly. Which is also called high school. Freaking genius, ain't he? And before we move on to the next lesson, one way to remember this idea is to believe that your own personal opinions and feelings are truly only yours, and that they matter more than mostly anything else. Okay, if you made it to this part of the video, we'll be moving on to our second lesson, which is nonviolent communication, which for the rest of this next lesson will be called NVC. NVC is a form of communication created by Marshall Rosenberg, which helps with dealing with complicated issues in a less conflicting form of getting you or someone else's point across. An example from the book: when X happens, I feel Y because I need Z. With this method of communication, people won't be loudly arguing over things large and small. This way, people can settle arguments more peacefully rather than getting physical or having to scream about it, so that their kid doesn't have to tell them to be quiet when the adults are trying to sleep. Quick freeze real quick. Hey, don't take that the wrong way. Or do you have it makes it funnier? It was just a joke. crappy jokes aside, NVC can actually be a great way of talking out problems instead of creating them, such as when you need to break up with someone. Here's one of my bad examples, as I've never had any romantic relationship anymore before in my life. When you always complain to me and don't ever let me give you any suggestions to help, I feel like we should break up because I need something more positive than only being a stress outlet. But, however, this is all the time I have for this lesson. Now, let's move on to the final lesson, mental shelters. Mental shelters are a great way to keep yourself confident and happy or calm with positive emotional triggers. An example of this is the memory of a time whenever you were a toddler that made you happy, such as your grandmother coming to visit for the first time in a long while. Mental shelters are meant to be something of a mental retreat to help block negative things. If a relative died, retreat to a mental shelter to remember the great times you had with them to help deal with moving on from their departure from this world. Mental shelters, in my opinion, are one of the best methods from the book. Now, let's move on to the final part of this video. Main idea number 2, the green zone itself. Now, we've been talking about the green zone for a while now and what it is. And here are some ways of staying in the green zone that I'm sure you know some of. Sleeping regularly, eating healthy, removing alcohol from your life, dealing with health problems quickly, and eat right. The green zone is what most people lose sight of after high school because of college and working. Because of this, the green zone is what could be described as heaven on earth after some time. So with the lesson from this book, the green zone will become something easier to reach before you're 80 years old and about to drop dead in a few minutes any day now. And unfortunately, this is all the time I had today with you guys. If you want to see more, tell me what you want to see in the comments. I don't need subs or likes. I just want to keep you entertained because I'm thinking of making this a not so cringy game channel. Goodbye everyone, and I'll see you all next time.